Welcome into the Ravens Rundown, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we will get you all set for the Ravens Sunday Night Football matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a huge game in the AFC North. We'll break down the playoff picture, go over the injury report, the latest on Lamar Jackson, also keys to victory for your Baltimore Ravens as well. Before we do that, though, if you want your Baltimore Ravens to win on Sunday night, here's what I need you to do. I need you to like today's video. I think it helps increase the Ravens' chances of winning. And you may be saying, well, that doesn't sound very scientific. Well, don't be the guy that jinxes it. If the Ravens lose, it's probably because you didn't like the video. So go ahead and like today's video, and we'll get started with today's show. Huge game on Sunday Night Football to ring in the new year as the Steelers and the Ravens square off in what should be a fantastic matchup. The Ravens got the best of the Steelers just a couple of weeks ago, and now here they are again. Now, the Ravens still are wondering who is going to play quarterback, if Lamar Jackson is going to be able to give it a go or not, or if it will be Tyler Huntley. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, Kenny Pickett is coming off a huge game where he pulled off a come-from-behind win against the Raiders, and, of course, he missed most of the game the last time these two teams met as he left with a concussion. So how will Kenny Pickett do in his first of many trips in the future to the bank? The Ravens are favored by about 3 points. Not a huge favorite, but a favorite nonetheless. Over-under is at 36, expecting a low-scoring slugfest between these two AFC North foes. And our friends at BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports, are offering a great deal right now. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, enter the promo code Chat125, you get a 125% deposit bonus. Put $100 down, you get $125 to spend for free, whether you want to bet on the Ravens to cover that 3-point margin, or if you want to bet on the over-under. Other games around the National Football League, the NBA, college basketball, just like producer Roley is getting ready to put some money down on. Whatever you're feeling, get your bets in now. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Chat125. Who do you got? Ravens or Steelers? Type BAL for the Ravens, type PIT for the Steelers, and let me know in the comment section below what you're betting on. Let's go ahead and look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As you can see, the Ravens have already clinched a playoff spot. It's just a matter of what seed they will be at this point. We know for sure they won't be the 4 seed. That is going to be the AFC South winner, so they could end up as that 3 seed, swap places with Cincinnati potentially, or they could stay in that wild card spot. Basically, what we're focusing on, since we know the Ravens are going to be in the playoffs, is all about the division race at this point. And here's what it comes down to. Okay, the Bengals can clinch the AFC North Title with a win and tie and a Ravens loss. Now, follow me on this. There's more to this. If Cincinnati wins and Baltimore ties, Cincy can also clinch the division. But if both teams tie, Cincinnati can't clinch. So, with that said, you win. If you take care of business, then you set up a matchup next week for a winner-take-all for the AFC North Title. At the end of the day, the Ravens still control their own destiny. They don't need help from the Bengals. They can take care of this themselves, but it won't hurt if the Bengals do happen to fall this week here. So, what do you say? Will the Ravens win the AFC North? If you think they will, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Let me know in the comments section if the Ravens will walk away with the division title or not. Y for yes, in for no. Will he play? That is the question everybody wants to know as far as Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson goes. We haven't seen Lamar in a few weeks, and according to the NFL Network, Jackson is making progress toward football-related activities, and that we could see him back on the practice field this week, which would then set him up to potentially play this weekend. And if you recall last week, there was a report from ESPN's Adam Schefter that they felt that the Ravens were going to make enough progress to have him back on the field last week. Obviously, that did not happen. So Will we see him? That remains to be seen. Lamar, one of a number of injuries on this Ravens team right now, as Calais Campbell is questionable with a knee injury. Marcus Peters dealing with a calf issue. And then Josh Ross and Tylan Wallace are coming off IR. Their status, as far as if they'll be back and be good to go or not, still remains to be seen. But with that, let's go ahead and get to our keys to victory. What's it going to take for a Ravens win? Number one is creating turnovers. And, you know, this Ravens team, we've seen how much this defense has come along this year. And when I was putting this keys to victory together, I wanted to point back to what the Ravens did to win the first time. And one of the things that obviously stood out is what they were able to do to give Mitch Trubisky a lot of fits. Now, obviously, Kenny Pickett's getting the start, but I think the same thing kind of applies here of doing what you can to try to create turnovers and get interceptions. Baltimore picked off Mitch Trubisky in that game 3 times. Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, and Marcus Williams all had interceptions. So if you can go back to the well of sorts and create those turnovers, those interceptions again, we saw what it did for this Ravens team. You'd be in great shape. Number 2 for keys to victory for Baltimore is running the football, establishing the run. And I got to tell you, I like what I've seen from this Ravens rushing attack within the last couple of weeks. The Ravens have run successful rush plays on 58% of their snaps in the fourth quarter last season. That was the best in the NFL, and I would expect the Ravens to pound the rock and do what they can to try to wear out this Steeler team when it comes to the fourth quarter, and it starts for me with J.K. Dobbins. Gus Edwards had 99 yards rushing last week, but look at what J.K. Dobbins brings to the table, what we've seen the last 3 weeks. 120 yards the last time these two teams met in a touchdown run. Week 15, even more than that, 125 against Cleveland, 59 against Atlanta. Watch out for J.K. Dobbins. He and Gus Edwards, a good 1-2 punch. We haven't seen these two and Lamar Jackson all 100% healthy at the same time. This weekend could be the very first time that we see that all season potentially, and would be huge for this running game if all 3 of them are available. Who's going to lead the Ravens in rushing? Is it J.K. Dobbins, or is it Gus Edwards, or maybe is it somebody like Kenyon Drake? Whoever it may be, let me know in the comment section. If it's J.K. Dobbins, type J.K. for J.K. Dobbins. If it's Gus Edwards, type Gus for Gus Edwards in the comment section. Let me know who you think will lead the Ravens in rushing. Folks, you got to sub to the channel for daily Baltimore Ravens news and rumors. Also game previews like you're seeing right now, as well as post-game recaps. We'll be here Sunday night. You better believe it, with a full breakdown of this game. What happened, win, lose, draw, whatever it may be. What does it mean for the Ravens playoff situation? We'll tell you coming up on Sunday. Subscribe to the channel now for the latest happenings on your favorite team. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. YouTube.com/RavensTV. Number 3 on our keys to victory for Baltimore is third down conversions. Here's something for you. Did you know this, folks? The Ravens are winless when allowing 50% of third down conversions since 2011. That's the worst in the NFL. And I know when you talk third down conversions, everybody thinks offense, right? Trying to convert those third downs. But I look at it, think of the defense, for example, of the defense trying to avoid Kenny Pickett and company from converting those third downs, getting those 3 and outs as much as possible. You do that, you win on third down, you win football games. It's as simple as that. That's going to be important for this Baltimore Ravens team. Number 4 on our keys to victory is slowing down T.J. Watt. Now, Ravens fans, don't hate me on this, but I'll be honest, I love T.J. Watt. I think T.J. Watt is a generational talent, and he missed a lot of games this year. But our memories don't have to go too far back to look at how good T.J. Watt in the Steelers' pass rush could be. Remember last year, the Steelers led the NFL in sacks. They sacked their opponents 55 times, and 22 of those came from T.J. Watt, which was a tie for the league record. Now, I know that T.J. Watt this year, we mentioned the injuries, he has only 4 sacks. in 6 TFLs and 1 forced fumble, but he's still playing at a high level this year. And since he's come back to this Steeler team, he has been a problem for offenses to deal with. When you look at this rivalry, what makes this Steelers-Ravens rivalry over the years so great is just the Hall of Fame talent we've seen on the defensive side of the ball. You guys know for the Ravens, of course, the guys like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and company, and now seeing guys like Roquan Smith and Marcus Williams. But you look at the Steelers into things, the Troy Palomalus of the world, the Joey Porters, the James Harrisons, T.J. Watt, Roquan Smith, those guys are carrying on the tradition, the legacy of this great rivalry, and T.J. Watt is going to be a problem. I can tell you that right now. So, who will be the Ravens MVP against the Steelers? Is it going to be somebody that can shut down T.J. Watt? Is it going to be J.K. Dobbins? Who will it be? Give me one name in the comments section. Who will be the MVP for the Ravens coming up this Sunday against Pittsburgh? Final key to a victory for your Ravens is starting fast. Now, I look at some of the statistics when I was kind of breaking down this game, trying to find the trends. And you look at what the Ravens have done in the first quarter. The last few games, it hasn't been great. Baltimore has been held to a grand stinking total of 13 points in the first quarter in the last 4 games. That's it. That's not even 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's ridiculous. You got to start better than that than to just have 13 points in the last 4 games in the first quarter. Got to get firing off the gates right away. Send a message. You're playing in prime time. You're playing on Sunday Night Football. Get the crowd going right away. Get the bank rocking and get on the board quickly and set the tempo for this game. I think that's going to be vital for this Ravens team to do. So, before I give you my prediction for how I see this game playing out, now it's your turn here on the Ravens Rundown to predict the final score for the Ravens-Steelers game. We already asked you who you think's going to win this game. What will the score be? Let us know in the comments section below. So, to recap, keys to victory, creating turnovers, going to be pivotal. Running the football, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards and company, got to be effective running the ball. Third downs, and not just converting on offense, but getting the stops you need on defense, slowing down T.J. Watt. He is a problem to deal with, and starting fast. At the end of the day, the Ravens, if they do all these things, they'll be in pretty good shape, and I think they will. I like the Ravens to get the job done. Should be an exciting game on Sunday night. I like the Ravens in a close one to pull away late, 20-14, the final score. The Ravens get the job done. As always, you can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Baltimore Ravens and those social media platforms. And I'll see you next time, right here on the Ravens Rundown. Have a great day.